Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Baltimore. What a beautiful morning. It was great looking out and seeing the Inner Harbor, just a spectacular way to start the day. We want to welcome you to the 7th edition of the GRC Summit. My name is Karen Reed, and on behalf of MetricStream, I want to thank all of you for being here today. This is a packed house. We have a lot of people here, over 400 attendees, and you came in from all over the world. People came in from the UK, from Brazil, I heard UK, Colombia, Hong Kong, China, India, the Philippines, and all across Europe. So over the next few days, professionals in governance, risk, compliance, and cybersecurity will be sharing ideas, sharing best practices and insights about how to enable organizations to perform with integrity. And we have a number of really inspiring keynotes, one this morning to start us off, some case studies and panel discussions, and it's across 6 different tracks, so it's very personalized to you. There is a lot going on, so it's really important that you keep track of time. And the best way to do that is to use the app. So if you have not downloaded it yet, we encourage you to do so now. We are limiting the use of paper as much as possible, so your agenda, your collaterals, and any other material will be available on the app. Now, the app also supports some advanced features as well, so it allows you to do some networking with your fellow attendees. You can select your workshops and do so much more. Also, for those of you who want to get CPE credits, it is critical that you use the app. Here's the reason why. To get your CPE credits, you will need the app to do 2 things. First of all, whenever you go to a session that you attend, you need to check in on the app. And then you need to write a note in the notes section saying what you learned. And you want to make sure that you write at least more than 10 words. And of course, you want to make sure that you save it. So at this point, I want to turn over the stage to a very key person here at the GRC Summit. Mikael Hagstroem is actually the President and Chief Executive Officer of MetricStream. Mikael brings decades of senior leadership experience in driving value through enterprise software, big data, and AI. He has renowned expertise in helping companies across a wide range of companies harness AI to reshape their business models, foster a culture of integrity, and unlock competitive advantage and rapid growth. Previously, Mikael served as partner and COO of McKinsey Analytics, where he helped build a world-leading global AI team, delivering distinct global impact. Prior to McKinsey, Mikael was president SAS International, where he led more than 5,000 employees across 48 countries, and over 25 years grew a multi-billion-dollar software business, contributing to SAS's leadership in business analytics and risk intelligence. Mikael currently serves on the executive committee of the United States Council for International Business, and previously he served as chair of the World Economic Forum's Global Agenda Council on Data-Driven Development, and as the chair of the Executive Council of the American Chamber of Commerce to the European Union. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mikael Hagstroem.
Thank you, Karen. I'm glad you mentioned my name as well, so I know you were talking about me. It's great to be here this morning, and I really love to see you all coming bright and early on a Monday morning. And I know many of you actually came in yesterday and had a full day of programs yesterday. So could those of you that were here yesterday in the C6 and all of those sessions, please stand up for a moment to be recognized? There's a lot of you that have committed your Sunday to work through. This is a fantastic knowledge network. For those of you that don't know the C6, please give them a round of applause and thank them for... I would recommend you to talk to one of them in the break. The one was standing up nearest to you. I certainly will. And I know many of you are also here for the second time or more. So could I ask those of you to stand up as well that's been to the GRC Summit before? Okay, that's a smaller crowd. I would expect it to be a big crowd, but you're welcome. Thank you for coming back. And now those of you that are here for the first time, Can you raise so we can welcome you? It's the way to get warm in this room. You know, it's really cold in here. So we need to do something about it. Welcome. It's great to have you all here. So thank you all for coming, and I really appreciate you all being here. So I'm going to jump to back to the GRC app. I know most of you have already downloaded it, but for those of you that haven't downloaded it, here are the steps to do so. Many of the MetricStream colleagues are already standing up. Those of you from MetricStream that are seated, can you also please stand up? And now if anyone in the audience has a challenge getting the app, just raise your hand and they will come and help you to fix the situation, or any other challenge you might want help with during the conference. Just so you know who we are. And the people standing are the people that actually know something of what's going on. So the 3 questions, actually I have 4 questions for you to kind of warm up this app and see how it's going. What best describes the reason why you dedicated your time to join us here at the summit? Is it 1, learning? What you picked up last year has helped you improve in your job? Is it 2, networking? The people you met last year have helped you improve in your job? Is it 3, questions? You have specific needs that you want to solve? Or is it 4, to celebrate? You're here to celebrate how we help improve the human condition and build a better world. So I'm looking forward to this. That was a very fast, a whole lot of people celebrating, but learning is really a popular topic, so that's great. A lot of you are coming with questions, and our teams will love that. The people celebrating are now joining the party. So awesome. So most of you are really here for the learning. And I know many of you are here for learning and networking, so picking one isn't always going to be easy. The questions. Now you've seen all the MetricStream employees and the CSIG attendees. They have a depth of knowledge. There are many of our solutions that actually came out of those CSIGs. So for example, the compliance solutions, those apps are a direct result of those CSIGs. Well, I have to be honest, I'd expect a few more to vote purpose, like number 4. So maybe we do this exercise then. Most of you have paper on your round tables. If you could just write down the purpose of your organization, and if you're willing to share it, raise your hand. Normally there should be someone planted in the audience, and I don't have that because this was not planned. So we'll take this risk, leap of faith. But if anyone wants to share the purpose of their organization, that would be greatly appreciated. Anyone that wants to share their grand purpose of their organization. Well, more important anyways is that you have it written down, and then we think about for what role GRC is playing in raising that. Oh, we have someone back here. So let's hear that purpose. And the mic is coming.
I'll be the person that gets it started. I don't think I need a microphone. My voice is loud enough. All right, you're going to give me one. Wow, you're going to give me one anyway. You might want to hold that back in Jersey. I'm Dorian Kogis. I'm from the Unified Compliance Framework. The purpose of our organization, actually a lot of you guys have our content, is to map regulatory guidelines so that when one of them says turn off the tap, the other one says shut the spigot, the third one says close the faucet, and the fourth one says swing the tennis racket, we can prove 3 of them are the same and 1 of them is different. That works with MetricStream for us and for a lot of other people because regulations and standards are a part of our daily lives, and we have to reduce that footprint. And so we have a wonderful library. MetricStream has a wonderful, wonderful platform for operationalizing that. And that's why we're here, to talk to a lot of the clients and learn what's going on and how to make that better. And this is a great forum for it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. As we do fill out what role GRC can play into the purpose, I want to tell you a story about someone I worked for and now with. This firm is a firm where client confidentiality is at the core of their DNA and where trust is valued as their main corporate asset. As the firm was challenged by the cyber risks introduced by the vibrant digital economy, they, like many others, invested millions in cyber technology. Trapped in diminishing returns, the business leaders, the partners, claimed back control from cyber tech. And they just rediscovered that the single largest threat to cyber was human error. People like you and me being deceived by others outside of this room. Confident and reassured by this experience, they reverted to one of the most impactful yet least intrusive tools at their disposals. And I know you've already guessed what it is. It's policy management. Hands up, how many of you have been involved in a policy management program in your organizations? Okay, that's easily a third of the audience. Congratulations, you are now the leading cyber experts in your organizations, because 98%, and in fact I haven't been able to track down a single cyber incident that hit newspapers in the last 12 months that does not include human error somewhere in the system. You can come up and collect your diplomas later as the leading cyber experts. Last year, you shared how the focus keeps moving up from compliance to integrated risk management and governance, from reactive to proactive. As I'm sure the next speaker will share, risk is the main topic in boardrooms, and governance, sustaining the social license to operate, is a close second, as social, cyber, and operational risks are making its way to the very top of the house. Isn't GRC in the modern age all about people first and purpose-led? All the work you put into building better risk models, writing better policies, designing better compliance processes, and improved transparency, all of it helps make our organizations, well, our communities, our societies safer, stronger, and more prosperous. So thank you for your tireless efforts in making the world a better place. I am excited to announce today that each one of you can self-assess your organization's maturity using the integrity quotient and receive an IQ score in the new IQ survey just across in the Experience Center. And once you've answered those 10 questions, you will immediately receive a score, a printout of the assessment. But more importantly, if you take your badge and you scan your code on that badge, then you will actually, the QR code, then you will actually receive an email to show how you are placed, your organization is placed relative to the rest of you attending here. There is a rich database underneath, and that is something I would recommend taking advantage of. Sharing content is one thing that we like to do here at MetricStream. We are only as strong as our ecosystem, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our loyal partners. So I ask all of you sponsors and partners to stand up for a round of applause. If you aren't already, maybe standing in the back, maybe. Thank you. So please go and see them all in the exhibit area and during the rest of the conference as well. Overall, it's been a very exciting year here at MetricStream. In fact, we surpassed the first step in our 3-year goal of becoming a billion-dollar company by valuation, growing 3 times the market. As a result of being a software as a service growth company, we also received substantial financing. So we are now fully funded and here to lead GRC and integrated risk markets for the long term. Doubling down on the investments needed, our 1,300 people strong GRC engineering team delivered more impact and innovation than ever before in our 15 years history. That's all thanks to you for trusting us to help solve your challenges. So thank you for your trust in us. your belief in our vision, and your commitment to being true partners and collaborators with us every step on the way. I am truly grateful for being given the opportunity to be working with you on solving the challenges that your organizations are faced with. So a heartfelt thank you from everyone here at MetricStream. In the last year, I've been privileged to witness and hear about a number of successful customer journeys. And some of them are stuck in my mind, like a leading financial service company. They used the platform M7 to support the build-out of a stronger risk culture, which translates into better credibility and trust. So earlier, they struggled to gain a consolidated picture of risk, compliance, and security issues due to all the fragmented systems and organizational silos. And the reporting was a manual task. It took a lot of effort to do. And what they realized at the leadership level was that some of the discussions they had in the committees wouldn't always make it up to the top. A lot of issues that employees and people in the organization in the first line would know of. And they know that's been discussed, but they didn't make it up to the top. Now, what they came out with was something fascinating, I think as fascinating as simple, which was they just made it human. They made it simple to collect those issues, to report them back using mobile devices or whatnot. Starting with apps, they did all the requirements that you normally would put into an issue, but then they discovered that unlike us, GRC professionals, not every first-line person likes forms that has 55 required fields in them, and 2 years training in the taxonomies, they went into human language. They went into using AI. And they started to be able to start each morning in the organization with a dashboard showing them what issues are bubbling up. Including first line in the mission, I think is a very, very strong way of making progress. Let's see, go to the, no, I went one too far. There we go. This is another example from a global IT service leader. To effectively predict their performance at each level of the organization through a deeper understanding of risk, what they did was they started to collect quality indicators to get complete visibility of the strategic performance goals and objectives that were at risk. So they quickly determined how a customer satisfaction risk or a delivery risk can potentially harm their performance and reputation. And in the past, a lot of the performance indicators were purely quantitative in nature, but now they were able to actually put in the qualitative aspects, those that could result in a delayed delivery, in increased risk. So they got all their frontline people, tens of thousands of frontline people, report back into their GRC environments, allowing them to capture risks, qualitative risks that had a better indicator. And this approach has significantly improved investor and customer confidence in the company's readiness to handle all the potential risks. One of my favorites is this cloud computing leader, because at the time when cyber risks and regulatory requirements are booming, here's this one company that simplified compliance, even though they had 5,000 IT requirements across 20 different programs. They decided to do control harmonization. Thousands of redundant controls have been reduced to just 300 essential controls, which resulted in a 90% consolidation of effort. So that meant that instead of being slowed down by repetitive control testing, the company can accelerate performance while at the same time remaining a strong level of compliance and IT security. I've also been asked why I joined MetricStream many times. And I'm going to share that personally what drives me is the opportunity to deliver impact to our clients and enjoy this lifelong trust and mutual learning that follows. And I know I speak for all of us here at MetricStream when I state that it's truly inspiring to see how successful our clients are as you begin to leverage integrity, the qualitative aspects for sustainable performance and growth. And I'm going to share why in a little bit. Because what I believe is that without passion, nothing really happens. And without compassion, the wrong things tend to happen. So successful performance, be it at an individual level, an organizational level, or a global level, begin with the spark of passion that, when guided by integrity and compassion, help us improve the human condition and enable a higher quality of life. Our mission here at MetricStream is to perform with integrity and to help others do the same. Over the last year, our commitment to this mission has borne fruit. Leading organizations like yours are selecting MetricStream as their GRC partner of choice. Our top customers are buying in strongly to our GRC platform vision, M7. Our GRC cloud is leading the way in software as a service-based deployment. We are also the only company to be cited as the leader in GRC and integrated risk management, both by leading analyst firms. We here at MetricStream remain committed to being end-to-end centric, but our joint future success is based on the essential capability of being able to take the customer's perspective into consideration across all GRC-related functions, activities, and outputs. So the next generation of agile GRC architecture makes GRC functions fully digitalized and connected to allow the best transparency, efficiency, and agility for process operations. It's important to understand that one GRC platform, like M7, doesn't mean one solution. Of course, I celebrate those of you using MetricStream end-to-end, but for those of you living in a more fragmented world, it can comprise a variety of best-of-breed tools, harmonized by a common M7 platform architecture, common libraries, and a common GRC data lake for all relevant information that needs to be processed. So you might ask, what is a platform? Well, it's commonly referred to as non-functional requirements, such as cloud-enabled or native cloud. But as you dig deeper, you discover IT policy-related layers, such as security. The next layer down is workflow-related. But what is most important is what's at the core, and that's what's most commonly missed out. That's where you find the content libraries, the crowdsourced metadata that enables your organization to leverage best practice and to join forces with other organizations where all this intel is brought in. Some people that join those environments tell us that it's almost like Google for GRC. Content libraries is one of the most integral part. One chief risk officer told me that for me, the platform is the general ledger of risk and controls. A GRC platform must also remain independent from other platforms. You might want IT ticketing systems to integrate, but not to govern itself or the rest of your organization. You might want your workflow systems to integrate, but not to self-govern. You might want your ERP systems to integrate, but not to blur the three lines of defense. So meanwhile, in MetricStream Labs, our teams continue to push the envelope of what's possible with GRC. In partnership with you, we are using robotics to proactively engage first line. We're advancing our smart analytics and building true systems of GRC intelligence that combine internal data, external data, and predictive algorithms to help customers anticipate risk and opportunities more effectively. We are also innovating with AI to accelerate risk mitigation, prevent compliance violation, and enable real-time collaboration. But you will hear more of that from our Chief Technology Officer, Andreas Digelman here on stage tomorrow morning. I think everyone matters. In a world of GRC, we live in a world of immense opportunity, and yet there continue to be profound challenges. We are grappling with alarming climate crisis that even with the Paris Agreement will require globally coordinated efforts to reverse. We have a record high number of refugees in the world, 68.5 million people who have been forcibly displaced worldwide. At an organizational level, ransomware attacks are expected to hit business every 14 seconds by the end of this year. The cost of cybercrime damage is projected to reach $6 trillion annually by 2021. 6 trillion, if I recalculate it on every balance sheet, is 16-17%. Half of the organizations globally said they have been victims of fraud and economic crime last year, and that's up 36% from 36% a year prior. But these risks don't exist in isolation. They are deeply interconnected with each other, and they're each having the potential to affect each other. So to paraphrase the former US Secretary of State, John Kerry, he said, "Instability anywhere can be a threat to stability everywhere." How do you track catalyst risks like these and others? The unknowns, perhaps. To solve these issues, to build a better, safer, and more inclusive world, we need to work together. And there's never been a more urgent need for us to reach out across traditional silos and collaborate more closely to mitigate the risks that confront us. GRC is no longer just a second or third line of defense initiative. Everyone matters. Right from the business units in the front line, up to the board, and out to our third-party ecosystem. Everyone has the role to play in building resilience. The closer we can work to support and enable each other in this effort, the better we can realize the mission of performing with integrity. One of the issues that was brought up last year's summit was how GRC technology has traditionally been designed for second and third lines. If we want to get everyone involved in GRC, then we need to start building training-free technology that the first line can use. We are also working on the role of GRC and transparency to overcome trust deficiencies, including trust deficits between organizations and their customers and shareholders, particularly in the wake of recent data security and privacy breaches. Today, consumer trust is declining. Nearly 6 in 10 customers don't believe companies have their best interest in mind. Shockingly, several shareholder studies point to the same trend. Secondly, trust declines within organizations, such as when leadership teams lack transparency of risk building up in the front line, or when they hold their business units accountable for overambitious goals that often can't be achieved. And third, trust deficiencies created by technology. We live at a time of unparalleled technological advancement. But for many people, it's also an era of significant insecurity. AI and automation are threatening to replace thousands of jobs. Fake news is amplifying fear and misinformation. Big tech is widening income inequalities. Bots making decisions impacting our lives. Together, we must ensure that technology is used for good, not for bad. Starting with training-free front ends that not only collect missing data, but also transparently reports back. So how do we close this trust gap? Mitigate fears and bring people closer together so that we can collectively solve the challenge in front of us. I don't think there are easy solutions, but I do believe the first step in cultivating a sense of compassion. Whether it's compassion in the way we approach our customers, in the way we treat our employees, in how we shape the future of technology. I think compassion builds integrity, which in turn drive sustainable performance and builds the organizations of the future. We've heard it before, but it's more true today than it ever was in the past. People want to work for people they trust. We will not trust AI for decision-making until bots understand human values, until bots are perhaps compassionate, despite its $9.1 trillion promise. I refer to this as GRC for AI. I argue true passion to improve the human condition comes with compassion. Compassion for you, our clients, is really the cornerstone of trust. It starts with tuning in to our clients' issues, taking the time to really listen and then respond in an authentic way, leveraging partners where they are better placed to help. But perhaps more important than that is being transparent, doubling down if things go bad. For us here at MetricStream, that includes explaining why best practice outperform customizations 9 times out of 10, and the benefits of cloud-based agile GRC over on-prem legacy systems. At MetricStream, we strive to stay engaged with clients every step of the journey, our summits, our Voice of the Customer initiative, our GRC program, as well as our knowledge-sharing portals, like complianceonline.com and MetricStream University. All of it is directed to help us connect with you, our clients, at a deeper level with the sole focus of delivering impact. We are also honored that so many of you are members of the special interest groups, or MSIGs, who work closely with us to understand what your needs are. In fact, our regulatory change management and regulatory engagement management apps are a result of those collaborations. You can tell the marketing was not involved in naming them. We here at MetricStream are committed to continue exploring new ways of engaging with you and delivering values in ways that matter. One example of this is the investment in our client success team. Salil and team, Susan, maybe you should stand up to see the GRC translators and the GRC advisory network that we are all investing in. Oh, welcome. It's a new employee of ours that I haven't met yet, but was told was come today. So when it comes to GRC, we talk a great deal about processes, procedures, and tools, but at the heart of GRC programs are people, and without the buy-in or involvement, all the efforts to manage risk won't be as effective as they should. Today, companies are pushing more responsibility and accountability for risk down into the front lines, fostering a risk-aware culture. And it's a good thing, but GRC can be very hard. As practitioners, are we taking the time to put ourselves in the shoes of the frontline employees and really understand what we're asking of them? Are we exploring ways to help them do their jobs as first line of defense better? At the last year, Peter Bannister, is he still here? I saw him a moment ago. Oh, he's back there now. Okay. The then VP, Vice President of the GRC program at Funimay, now with MetricStream, welcome, talked about the importance of empathy in increasing end-user adoption of GRC, using positive language to talk about their GRC program, giving it a brand name, designing training-free front ends, and leveraging techniques like gamifications and issue reporting. All of it centered in a compassionate, human-centered approach to GRC, which goes a long way towards building a culture that embodies risk management, governance, and compliance. I adore the leadership team and their vision there for being so forward-thinking and leaning on that. I'm very impressed with that. Around the world, the idea of compassion and trust is steadily gaining ground as organizations, societies, and governments recognize the importance of building technology that serves humanity, not the other way around. We need machines and intelligent systems that are designed to complement our natural abilities. As the World Economic Forum observed, high-tech society can be utopian in reach and possibilities, but for that to be realized, and that's a big but, we need people like you that are grounded not just in science, but also in questions of identity, ethics, sustainability, integrity, and social impact. With every new technology, we need to ask ourselves what we're truly gaining and how we can best mitigate the new issues introduced. So as the chair of the Global Agenda Council on Data for Good at the WEF, I still invite you to join us, because at the end of the day, our job is to co-author an inclusive digital economy that benefits everyone. This is what GRC for AI is all about. We all have shared responsibility in shaping organizations, communities, and societies that are driven by compassion, integrity, and trust. None of these objectives can be achieved alone. It will require us to come together, just as we have done here at the summit, and raise key questions, debate issues, make our voices heard, listen to each other, and develop solutions that are truly collaborative and sustainable. Everyone will matter in this endeavor as we collectively work to build a better world for the future generations. It's our commitment here at MetricStream to perform with integrity and help our clients do the same. I believe performance without integrity is like momentum without direction. So please join me in the quest for a better future, a future where all perform with integrity and help others do the same. Thank you very much for all what you do. Appreciate it.